somewhere that we belong. And God has never played his role, 'cause I'm the one who saves my soul. It's a perfect world we're longing for so long.
Sifu is an action-adventure beat-em-up game developed by the French studio Slowclap.
This motherfucker don't miss.
The game is set in present China, and our playable protagonist is a revenge-seeking martial artist hunting down everyone involved in their father's death. And despite the PS2 graphics,
which I actually think is a really cool, unique art style,
the game is good. Like, really good. And also hard, like really, really hard. Like, what the game opens up to a late night in China, where a shady looking man is literally slapping the Chinese out some folk. Can I say that? That's not racist, right? The man we play as is making his way through a private property, and by the way these unlucky souls fight, it's a martial arts school. We aren't alone, however. As we progress further, we run into other shady looking people, surrounded by people just sleeping. Don't worry, they're sleeping. Sleeping. We progress further, and it becomes ever more clear that whoever we are cracked at Kung Fu. I wrote that! We are way more dangerous than all these guys. Honestly, I think Stevie Wonder could get more hits in, and that motherfucker is blind. We finally make our way to the reason we are here. The one man we wish to defeat. Our target. Sifu. And it's here we discover the name of the man we are currently playing as.
Yang, of course.
Also, this brother got that Mr. Burns forehead looking ass.
excellent.
The Sifu subtly implies that Yang was once a student at the school, but now is too dangerous and must be stopped. This is a pretty cliched trope for martial art films, or even just films in general, but it works nicely to provide the plot later on. The two then fight, and as skilled as the Sifu is, Yang comes out on top. The five then find a child hiding in a cupboard, the Sifu's child, and kill him too. However, the child wakes up unscathed, thanks to this bad boy. Every time the protagonist dies, they are resurrected by a magical talisman and age up, gaining access to more powerful attacks but reducing their health. When the player becomes too old, they can die permanently, in which case players must restart the level from the beginning, and from the same age as their initial attempt. The child spends the next 8 years training and researching to hunt down the five one by one, killing them, all for revenge. The interesting thing about Sifu is that in most combat games you can take different approaches like stealth or go all out, but in Sifu you have to fight 100 man at a time. At least complete a level at least once in order to unlock the shortcut to that level, in order to skip ahead and fight less people making your way to the boss. This, added with the whole trial and error aspect, makes the replay value a lot higher. You want to be as young as possible, so there was a lot of times where I'd spend hours training in order to defeat a level, and as rage inducing as it is, it's so much fun. The main focus of the game is absolutely the combat, since it's a fucking fighting game. The style itself is the kung fu fighting style of Pac-Man, and although in real life isn't a realistic way to defend yourself, it looks awesome and gives me those Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan movie vibes.
What's up, my nigga?
When you die or find a shrine, you can level up and use XP points to get new moves, but these can be your downfall since learning new moves practically brings all your progress of learning how to fight back to square one, meaning you'll get your ass handed over to you on a silver platter. Another setback is that when you redo a previous level, you'll lose all XP and moves learnt. This exempts permanently unlocked moves, but they're so expensive, usually demanding around 5,000 XP points, so I wouldn't really say it's leveling up. The real way to level up your character is to just plainly get good. The game are not as varied as you'd believe, which I do not complain about in the least.
What did you say?
The awesome thing about the enemies is the diversity, since there are female fighters as well, and not like one or two scattered in each level, like they're everywhere. There's even white and black along with the Chinese too. It's cool because I never feel like I see the same NPC twice.
That talisman is what gives us the power to resurrect.
And it plays perfectly with the death counter. To put it simply, you start at 20. If you die once, you wake up as 21. If you die again, your death counter tolls to 2, so 21 plus 2 equals 23. If you're 34 and your death counter goes up to 7, you age to 41, meaning your age can leap quite high, and as soon as you're past about 75, you're permanently dead, so you have to restart the level. Defeating the section of a level will bring your death counter down by 1. You won't ever get younger unless you recomplete the same levels without dying. This is quite a metaphorical as well as literal consequence to vengeance. You hunt down your father's killers, but at what cost? Becoming old and decrepit? Losing your entire life? For context, the first level is around 3:30 in the afternoon, and the last is 5 in the morning, meaning you can potentially go from 20 years old to 70 in just over a half a day. Another consequence is that it's harder to complete levels because you have less of your life to waste, and as you age, your overall health lowers, but you become slightly stronger. Your death counter resets after a level, so don't worry too much about that. The level design in this game is quite beautiful, contrasting nicely with the previous and latter levels, making each level a refreshing and pleasant experience. Level 1 is the Squats, which is just a gangster's hideout in an ex-power plant connected to junkies' houses. It's dirty and ragged, making you feel like you're deep in the criminal underworld, which makes progressing deeper and deeper, hurting those who hurt others with their drugs. Wait, what? Is that edible lean? Oh my god, day 3, no lean looking ass. But in the grand scheme of things, these dangerous criminals are just an obstacle to us. Nothing but a hindrance. Hell, we don't even really care about the drugs, only shutting it down because the man was a part of a father's death. The second level is the club, and it's a vibrant place, a hell of a different place to the Squats. The level feels like a John Wick film, until you get into the burning within the club, discovering the second boss has a martial arts school within. Definitely my favourite level. The third is a modern museum, filled with interesting and woke art and imagery. Honestly, I really took my time to look around the exhibits in between knocking tools' heads together, and the creativity is what made this level stand out to me. The fourth is in a business building that loads into a cave. It feels really cool fighting in a bunch of offices, and in this level you get to fight people on a falling elevator, which is pretty cool, I can't lie. The fifth and final is the Sanctuary, a place of healing, which is ironic since they all fight you. It really creeps me out because they would all fight me as they spoke to me as though I was a civilian. Like, look at this.
Welcome to the Sanctuary. This is a place... You look tired, sir. May I help you? May I help you? May I help you?
The Botanist, a short hairy man of few words. Jafar was there on that night, and he's the one who slit your throat. He works as a botanist for a gang and has plant-based abilities. He's quite agile, jumping and spinning around, kicking, punching. All bosses have two phases, changing up their attack patterns and changing the location of the fight, to what I assume is more of just an interesting imagery to look cool. Jafar now wields a knife and can hide in bushes, like my uncle outside the local primary school. His element is also wood, just like my uncle outside the local primary school. The Fighter. As his name suggests, Sean is a fighter who owns his own school of martial arts. He's your average 6-foot man compared to our 5'11" self and wields a stick in both phases. His ability is that of fire, perhaps representing his anger since he killed his own father too, for his own reasons. Sean is arguably the easiest boss in my eyes because his attacks are easily dodgeable. The first phase gives you weapons, and as long as you're on the ball, you probably won't even take any damage. At least in my experience. The artist. With an illusionary power and water element, Kuroki has abandoned her violent past to create art. She has a 3-section staff, and because she uses high and low attacks, it's best to stay away until you can get hits in, as evading her attacks are not as easy as Sean's. In her second phase, her appearance changes and speaks in the third person, meaning she likely has a split personality. She now pisses kunai, using them to get in close. Did I say pissing? She now pisses kunai, using them to get in close, throw an anime dash over to you. The surprising thing is that I found her second phase easier than the first, and I don't think that's what's intended. I could die around 4 times in the first phase and not die once on the second, in any playthrough. The CEO. Being the CEO of the corporation, Ying Feng is an older woman only possessing one arm. However, in place of her missing arm is a roped weapon, capable of long range, meaning you can't get close often without avoiding oncoming attacks. Disappointingly, as shit as I was when I first faced her, I quickly realised she practically uses the same attack pattern every time, meaning you can learn to dodge these fairly early on, and once you do, she's not a threat. Her element is metal. The leader. Yang. The man who killed her father, our Sifu. Yang was like an older brother, so to have us killed as a child seems very harsh, but Yang has his unjustifiable reasons, which I'll explore later. His power is to bring back the dead, meaning his element is earth. Yang was a really hard fight. I died so many times I can't even count. I had to lock my windows just so I could scream the most horrendously devious, nefarious PS party type beat words ever to leave my lips in pure, unfiltered rage. He is so hard to beat, and anyone who can kill him without dying is a legend. See, Yang has the same moves as us, including the unlockable ones. He's just so much better with them, and makes all your progress look like a man running a marathon to an infant crawling. It's genuinely so infuriating how good Yang is, because he knows I'm wank, and he mocks me. He'll mock you, especially after dying. Fucking longheads.
In the end, you're still that same child I knew. Helpless. Like the night I killed your father. You're here, in front of me, only because of this pendant. But what if I take it from you? Will you fear death once again?
You sound like a frightened one to me.
You can also spare all the bosses, and doing so gives it a different ending. Although I literally cannot. I don't know what it means. Honestly, this game is amazing, and I recommend you try it for yourself. It's definitely a rage game, but if you're into beat 'em up games where you knuckle up against scum, you'll love it. 8 out of 10. Wait, Sifu? That's Cantonese. But they speak in Mandarin. Shouldn't it be called Shifu? Fucking slow clap. How can you fuck that shit up? Absolutely horrible. Don't play this fucking game. 2 out of 10. Bye.